planted, cows and sheep were grazed, and corn, beans, and squash, known by the Pueblans as the Three Sisters, formed the base of this area's food pyramid. Over time, a cuisine that could be grown and sown here, based on regional palates and influences, has evolved into foods and drinks that are sometimes about convenience, breakfast burritos, and sometimes about religion, wine, agriculture, red or green, fellowship, diners, or celebration, spirits. How to use this guide. Go ahead, spill some green chili on this book. It's here to help you plan a journey, discover a new dish or eatery, or remember why you loved a place you visited. You can use it to create a food-focused getaway or pull it out when you're in an unfamiliar place. Sometimes it's about the food. Sometimes it's about the establishment. And when those two come together, it's magical. And while this book is largely focused on where and how to enjoy New Mexico's most famous foods and beverages, I've tucked in a few surprises and helpful tips that go beyond the burgers and enchiladas. I've also called out a few top picks in each chapter. For the most part, I selected the places in this guidebook based on my experiences, for one or a combination of these reasons: the quality of the food, interactions with the people, history, or significance in the state. Because this is a guidebook mostly about burger joints and local eateries, the price range is pretty consistent. The typical plate of enchiladas, or a green chili cheeseburger, will run you between $10 and $15. In Santa Fe, expect to pay about 50% more than that, especially if you're dining on the plaza. I've noted places that are good for cheap eats, as well as the ones where tourist pricing is in effect. As with every guidebook, the specifics about these places can change on a dime, and the COVID pandemic has forced unexpected changes across the board, from hours of operation and menu tweaks to closings and relocations. Also, remember that small, rural establishments might not keep consistent hours, and be patient with the mom-and-pop burger restaurant that had to close so that mom-and-pop could attend a wedding. Call ahead and confirm before you make the drive. Lastly, be sure to appreciate the heart, heritage, and history wrapped up in what is on your plate or in your glass. May your chili be hot and your beer cold. Buen provecho. 1. Our history is delicious. Take a look at your plate. Here's where your taste buds will tell you what a history book cannot. This amalgam of flavors, whether fried, dried, stewed, boiled, fermented, or raw right out of the field, is the key to our past and what makes modern-day New Mexican foods unique. To experience the state's cuisine is to taste the complex and brilliant end results of hundreds of years of culture, tradition, and agriculture that mix Puebloan, Spanish, Mexican, and Anglo influences with a dash of Middle Eastern and Asian thrown in. The following is but a slice of that history, with the hope that it will kick you out onto a trail to sip and nibble your way through the state. Bevies to beans. New Mexico's wine industry has had a bumpy ride. Franciscan monks from Spain, who were imposing Catholicism on the native population in the West during the 17th century, were also violating Spanish laws. They were planting wine grapes from smuggled vines. To maintain sovereignty over its winemaking and exporting industry, the Spanish government had declared that Spanish grapes could grow only on Spanish soil. But the monks needed wine for sacramental purposes, and the long trip across the oceans and deserts left Spanish-made wine hard to swallow, even for communion or other official purposes. The first mission grapes were planted near Socorro in 1629. Ultimately, the vineyards expanded and did pretty well in New Mexico, until Prohibition and devastating floods killed off a lot of grapes. Slowly but surely, enterprising New Mexicans brought back the vineyards. Sweet wines were our thing a few decades ago, until winemakers began branching out to meet the demand for more complex, European-style wines that pair with food, such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Mourvedre, and Tempranillo. So, if you've tried New Mexico wines in the past,